My sister spent months mocking my newborn's name until her fiancé heard it. My sister spent 2 months turning my baby's name into a family joke until her fiancé heard it and everything went silent. My son was barely an hour old when it started. My wife was still holding him in the hospital bed, exhausted but smiling. When the nurse asked what name we wanted on the birth bracelet, I said it proudly. Bartholomew. The nurse smiled and wrote it down. My sister Kayla, who was standing at the foot of the bed, burst out laughing. Not a small laugh either. The kind of laugh that makes everyone in the room look at you. Wait, she said, trying to catch her breath. You're serious? Bartholomew? I nodded. It was my grandfather's name. The man who raised me after my dad disappeared when I was 10. The man who worked double shifts his entire life just to make sure I finished school. My wife gently touched the baby's cheek. We'll call him Bart, she said softly. Kayla shook her head, still laughing. I'm sorry, but that sounds like a wizard from a fantasy movie. I figured she'd get over it, but she didn't. 2 days later, my cousin sent me screenshots from a group chat Kayla had made. The chat name was Save Baby Bart. Inside were memes, jokes, people suggesting normal names. One message from Kayla said, imagine being 5 years old introducing yourself as Bartholomew. Another said, do we start a petition now or wait until kindergarten? I stared at my phone for a long time. When my wife read the messages, she didn't cry. She just quietly locked her phone and rocked our son in silence. And that's the moment it stopped being funny to me. A week later, Kayla came over to see the baby. She brought a gift bag. Inside was a little onesie. Across the front it said, my parents let a medieval knight name me. Kayla held it up proudly. Come on, she said. You have to admit that's funny. I didn't laugh. I just folded the shirt and put it back in the bag. After that, I kept my distance. But about 2 months later, Kayla invited the whole family to a big dinner. She'd been dating this guy Brandon for almost a year, and apparently he was planning to propose soon. His family had money, real money. Big house outside the city, private driveway, the kind of place where the lawn looks like a golf course. Kayla had been trying to impress them for months. Fancy dinners, expensive wine, acting like she came from some perfect family. So we showed up. Brandon came out to greet us at the gate. He leaned down to look into the stroller. Well, hey there, little man, he said. What's his name? I answered casually. Bartholomew. Brandon froze. Then he slowly straightened up. Bartholomew? He repeated. Yeah. He stared at my son for a second and then smiled. That was my grandfather's name. He looked genuinely surprised. My granddad Bartholomew built this entire property. Then he turned toward the house and shouted, Dad, come hear this! An older man walked over from the patio. What's going on? Brandon pointed at the stroller. This little guy's name is Bartholomew. The man's face lit up instantly. That's a strong name, he said. You don't hear that anymore. He leaned down and gently tapped my son's tiny hand. Names like that carry history. Right then, Kayla walked over holding a glass of wine. What's happening? She asked. Brandon grinned. Your nephew has my grandfather's name. Kayla's smile froze. Brandon's father nodded approvingly. Family names matter, he said. Shows respect for where you come from. Then he looked at Kayla. You must be proud your family honored that name. Kayla didn't say a word. So I quietly pulled my phone out of my pocket, opened the screenshots, and handed the phone to Brandon. He started reading. His smile slowly disappeared. He scrolled through the messages, the memes, the jokes, the group chat called Save Baby Bart. Then he handed the phone to his father. The older man read every message. When he finished, he looked directly at Kayla. You mock that name? He asked calmly. Kayla's voice came out small. It was just a joke. Nobody laughed. Brandon looked at her. The way you look at someone when you suddenly realize you don't know them at all. You spent months telling my family how important legacy is, he said quietly. And the whole time you were making fun of the name that built ours. Kayla opened her mouth to respond, but nothing came out. And for the first time in her life, my sister had absolutely nothing to say.